Hello and welcome to my new Xtreme Onechunk Ironman. My starting location will bring us to one of the newer regions added to Old School RuneScape, all the way in the Kingdom of Arlemore, Auburnnvale. To start off, in order to get to my new home for the foreseeable future, we have to complete the Children of the Sun quest, which I will be doing in the background while I go over the rules and make my way to Auburnnvale. For those who don't know what a chunk account is, the game is divided into areas called chunks. These chunks are 64 by 64 tiles, and in those chunks I have to complete chunk tasks without leaving my usable chunks. After all tasks are completed in my chunk, I am able to randomly select my next one. In each chunk I have to 1. Obtain newest best in slot items for all 3 combat styles. 2. Complete the highest level skilling challenges, and this includes skill capes. 3. Complete all quests and diaries as much as possible. 4. Obtain all unique items. 5. Obtain all unique monster drops, and this includes pets and jars. And then 6. Complete all minigames. A couple additional notes. I will not be including implings as a way to gain resources for any of my skilling grinds. For my secondary training methods, I'll be going based on a 1 in 16 drop rate. A primary training method would be cutting trees, mining rocks, or any other action that gives a guaranteed resource, whereas a secondary would be killing an NPC for, say, iron bars. And if the drop rate is lower than 1 in 16, I will have to kill that NPC for the bars to train my smithing. Farming will be a passive skill because of the time-gated nature, meaning if I have a way to gather seeds reliably, I will in the background continue farming until I'm able to complete the chunk task. Finally, no meme grinds. What I mean by that is, say, collecting the Helmet of the Moon from the chest under the Twilight Temple, or an uncut onyx from a gem bag at 1 in 2.5 million. So now that we've arrived in Auburnnvale, it's time to take a look around at what we have. Alright, what do we got in here? Looks like a pretty normal general store here. 7 gold for a knife. Alright. Go check out over here. And it's just a tannery. Okay. That's not very useful at all. A furnace. A hammer. I hope we don't get a mining chunk anytime soon. And I think that's what I'm going to be doing for a while right there. Okay, we got a sawmill over here. Iron axe. That will be great. Better than a bronze. For however marginally it is. I'll take anything I can get. Normal construction. Bartender. Let's see if this guy's got anything good. Ooh, take that cider though. Yoink. Oh, we got a lot of stuff in here. Meat pie. Something tells me that is going to be very useful. Dang. Full. What is that? Never seen that before. Huh. Definitely have to look into that. And down here, we got this guy. I think it was an axe shop. Yes, so this is one of the requirements right here. Huh. So it looks like I'm not going to be stuck with just an iron axe. That is really great. So this guy's got staff shop. That one staff being the different direction actually bothers me, but we're just not going to talk about it. An actual bank that's close, very nice. Don't have to be a UIM. And we got a knife spawn. Take that. Ruby harvest. And a belladonna patch. I don't think I've ever planted a belladonna in my life. Oh yeah, here's another chunk task. I have to bake this potato. I did not think I was going to be able to pickpocket them. That first experience on the account. One of many to go. Let's finish exploring this chunk. So we got a guard, bucket. What's up here? Absolutely nothing. Free 25 GP. Gotta drop it. Can't have that. Alright, so the first thing I want to do though is the mini quest. What is it called? Something between the veil. Veil or... I can't even remember. Veil totems, there we go. So we need 20 fletching. Which means we got a lot of dead trees to cut down. I think this is a good time to talk about my chunk task in Aurburnvale. There isn't a whole lot of things to do here in Aurburnvale. However, there are some things that we need to do before we roll the next chunk. For our skilling task, we have to cook a baked potato or bake a baked potato. I'll leave that up to you to decide, which needs 7 cooking. For our second chunk task, we need to be able to wield an adamant battle axe, which we need 30 attack. Our third chunk task is to be able to wield a maple shield, which requires 40 defense. Fourth task is to be able to pickpocket a guard at level 40 thieving. Our fifth task is to be able to cut a maple tree, which needs 45 woodcutting. Our sixth task is to be able to burn a maple log at 45 firemaking. Lastly, the big level of this chunk is 90 fletching to make a dragon arrow. You might be asking yourself, how are you going to get a dragon arrow tip to make a dragon arrow? Well, through participating in the Veil Totems minigame, you receive Veil offerings, which then you can turn in for 1 research point and a roll on the drop table. And one of these possible rolls are dirty arrow tips, which when cleaning have a decent chance to turn into dragon arrow tips. For our best in slot items in this chunk, we need to obtain an adamant battle axe, obtain the maple shield, and obtain a staff of air. For the unique items that we need to collect in this chunk, we need to complete the Veil Totems collection log, which requires an ent branch, a fletching knife, green mask, and the bowstring spool. With the bowstring spool, I will need to fully upgrade it so that it can hold the 100,000 bowstrings, which will require 6 spools in total. Level 2, and 3, and 4, and 5. I already have a slight detour from just woodcutting. I just got level 6 woodcutting, so now I use a steel axe. I need 200 coins. So, I guess we're gonna have to start dealing. I stole a little bit from these citizens. Now, I think I'm gonna buy some of these wines so I can actually keep going. 1 coin. Is there an infinite stock? Oh dang, that's pretty cool. Yeah, minus Y5. And going back to making enemies. So our tourists same level? Oh, that's cool. Might as well stay right here. And of course, now that I realize Chiribaya is here, I'm gonna have to pet the good boy. Always pet the good boys. Last few pickpockets here. Of course, when I start recording. I just fail even though I just did like 20 in a row. And still failing. Come on, just give me one more. There we go. Alright, so now, doing some research. A steel axe is going to be a lot better than this iron axe I have. And since we can't get to a black axe, this will be a lot better until we get to mithril at level 20, which I didn't even look to see how much money we're going to need for that. I might be pickpocketing men for quite a while. Okay, that's not too bad. What about this guy? 1,300. That's a lot. I'm guessing we'll be able to make some money pretty quick once we be able to sell the unstrung bows. And for now, I'm going to keep cutting these dead trees, fletching the arrow shafts, and then get 20 fletchings so we can actually do the minigame. Just realized now that I didn't have the plugin on. It shows the gray parts of my chunk, so now that's on. Looking a little bit more precise. And what is that? Huh. Right now I'm looking for a better dead tree spot. My one I was at was a little bit awkward. This might work. I don't know if I can actually get over there though. Looks like awkward might just be the move. And then as far as I can tell, what we are going to have to do is do woodcutting. Oh shoot, that's awesome. I didn't see those oak trees there. We are saved. I was thinking that I was going to be having to do the dead trees all the way to 45 for the maples. So, what a blessing. But every inventory I do of these, I realize I can actually sell the long short bows to the shop for not bad profit. But I'm gonna world hop just to make a little bit more. I don't think I've ever got that message before. Sure. Hopefully, I won't have to go around pickpocketing a bunch of men for money. You know, it is a chunk task. I don't particularly want to. Help myself. So I'll just keep doing this until I get about... I think the mithril axe was about 550 or something about that. Just got our first bird's nest. I didn't even know the dead trees actually gave bird's nest. The real question is, can we do this? No. I actually haven't looked at the available clue steps to do here, and I don't know if there really is any. If there is, I would love to try to complete one before we leave these two starting chunks, but I don't know if that's even possible. The level that changes everything. A mithril. Ooh-wee. Now we're about to buy that mithril axe. We are almost out of upgrades already, which is kind of sad. We've only been doing this for, I don't know, an hour, maybe two. And we are already almost adamant. So we actually are cruising along. What we really need is to get to this Vale Totem minigame. Or whatever you want to call it. Minigame, Fletching Todd, any of the above. As soon as we do that, I think we should be able to fly through some of these levels early on. Maybe get some nice rewards. 10 fletching. We can actually do longbows now, and we can go from a whopping 5 XP to 10 XP. 10 levels of fletching is absolutely insanely slow. Granted, I am running around Auburnnvale here, cutting a couple dead trees at a time. Just a couple more of these, and we finally have gotten 20 fletching. We can now do oak short bows. And if you ever wanted to know, you can get all the way to 30 woodcutting by cutting these dead trees and get to 20 fletching. Would not recommend if you're a maid. Since we're so close to 31, I am going to go through and sell 10 of these per world. Try to get a little stockpile going. Get the adamant axe and then whatever random things I need. I know I need to get a adamant battle axe as well for the chunk task. And then there's also a staff shop, which is really great because then I don't have to manually cast magic once I unlock whatever means to level it up. Thank God. Alright, so we'll be right back once we sell all these. Just sold all of our long bows and short bows, and we got us a whopping 5,100 GP. Probably the richest person in Auburnnvale. But if we come over here, we are going to want to buy this adamant axe, and maybe this battle axe. If we have enough, which I don't think we do. that is going to be our next thing we buy. But for now, the adamant axe, I can use it in one more level or third of a level, so that's going to be very nice. Because now we get to start our totems, and I have no idea how to do this. I have this on my main and my group Ironman account, so this will be a learning process. Alright, we got all the requirements. Now, let's see how we do this quest. Should I actually read it? I'm actually read it. Let's start, yes. As you see, I never seen anything like them until I came here. There's a dude right there. Alright, so he's making himself into a tree. Oh, not a tree. Okay. Well, I definitely didn't read that. Because I didn't read, I'll summarize what happened. Randolph and I claim it to be some ritual. He talks about how they're all over the area and they seem very important to the ants, but doesn't know why. He spoke to the locals and didn't have a lot of information except that the ants, the totems, and the spirits are all part of this cycle in the valley. The little girl watches Randolph break the totem and then states the ants won't be happy with him. Even though it was just Randolph, he says that we broke the totem. Then the girl continues to talk to us, saying that the totems always end up breaking, then the ants get sad for a little while, and when we fix them, they get happy again. The girl then tells us that we need to carve the animals roaming around the totem spots into the totems. Then Randolph mentions that the ants appreciate it when wooden items are returned to the forest to finish the cycle. Alright, so now we can do the Fletching minigame. Let's check out this shop. Oh, you can buy. I thought you got these from like the reward pools. So bowstring spool, fletching knife, green man mask. Okay, well, this is actually probably one of the nicest UIs for shops in the game. Oh, I didn't know that's how that worked. So now we got flax. Let's talk about the Veil Totem rewards. We have 4 uniques we need for the chunk task: the knife, the green man mask, the bowstring spools, and the not so rare ent branch. There's a few notable drops as well, like the dirty arrow tips, bales of flax, and some others I'll put on the screen. Big moment here. Admin axe is now able to be used, and our efficiency has never been better, and now it actually won't ever get better until we can get a rune axe, which I'm not even sure where that is. So we're just gonna be an adamant axe boy for the foreseeable future, and that's okay. Oh, do I gotta get this thing done before it shows up, or how's that work? I did find a plugin too, so maybe this will be better. And decorate. Nice. Oh, okay, this is my better XP. Did that work? Do I collect this now? Oh. He didn't like it. So now I just wait? Alright, we'll go to the next one. I think it's over here. Oh, wait. This guy's coming up here. Maybe? Let's see. Does he like my totem? He's treeing? Hey! 22. I think that 100 I got from the quest was a lemon. Okay, so now I know I can do it just on this one. Not that it's great, but one is better than nothing. So I'm gonna go run over to this other spot and try to get that set up. Got 2 in my chunk. I didn't even know this one was here. I was walking by it. And this is a lot better XP per hour than doing the dead trees into longbows for 10 XP. Oh, get it. Alright, let's see. How many offerings can you get from this guy? And does it always remove this? Okay, so you can do it again. Or she. So I know I'm missing about 4 or 5 of the totem sites. This might be a little bit slower than I thought originally. That's alright. So I'm going to run back over this one over here and just see. Oh, look at that, 20. Alright, so can I just keep stacking them up? 40 walks away, quick! That was close one. Oh, nice, so they just keep stacking. And it's good for 2? So if I claim this... I earned 1 research point. Okay, I gotta do some looking into. I should search these now or save them up. Big level just coming in there. We are now moving on to the oak longbows. And we are going to be here for at least 20 more levels. I actually can't remember. Let's see, maple... 25 more levels. Should be very good on the woodcutting level though by that point. So it shouldn't be too terrible. So with this new collection log, we are actually looking pretty damn fine. So I just looked down my inventory and I thought I got like an acorn or something from this oak tree. But then I thought that doesn't make sense. And it's an ant seed. I have no idea what you even do with these. But I did see somebody posting right, if you drop them, they are comically large. Yes. Yes, they are. I looked it up. For oak trees, getting a ant seed is 1 in 400. Oh, it's 1 in 400 from actually all sources of trees. And you can trade them into the ants for a bird's nest. So I'm gonna go try using it on this guy, see what happens. I'll be damned. Learning new things already. Got ourselves here a nice little milestone of 40 fletching. Willow longbows and battle staffs, which we will not be able to do for a very long time. I don't even think there's any willow logs here. It's all like, I know I saw it earlier when I was looking. It might be like way down here or something like that. So another day, another time. We have just got one of the last upgrades we'll get for woodcutting for a long time. And we can't even equip it or get it. Alright, so I stocked up 3,200 of these Veil offerings, and we're going to open 32 pulls and see if we can get any uniques. Need a little dopamine hit to keep this grind going. Animal infused bark. I didn't know you could get half these things here. Some seeds. Bird's nest. U-roots. I don't know when I'd ever use that. Hey, a collection log. I don't actually know what these do, but I do know this is a collection log slot, so we'll take it. With that ant branch, we have just completed our very first chunk task. So I took a look in to see what these ant branches are used for, and they are what is used to make the atlatl dart shafts. So each one of these is a 100 of them. I don't think it's really going to be very useful for me for a long time until we actually get to that part of Arlemore. and I think that's a while away. You can also make a green man carving and a green man statue for the play-owned house, which is not a requirement. Let's see if we can clean these dirty arrow tips. Get anything good. Okay. So this might be a secondary way of training fletching, actually. Get a little stockpile of arrows once we have to do some range training. So as you can see here, I just got an XP lamp from the beekeeper random. And I've been sitting here for probably at least an hour trying to figure out what I want to put this XP lamp into. And I truthfully have no idea. The only thing I've come up with was agility. Everything else seems pretty out of the way for terms of wanting to level it up. Over here in the Stalker Den at level 54 Slayer, which would also unlock part of a quest that we need to do that's on the backlog. So that's one thing, but that would probably take forever and probably not really worth it. The next thing I was thinking about was agility. There's a couple of shortcuts around here that are 25, 41, 36, 33. Eventually we have this level 76 one, which might be useful, but also the quality of life that a couple of agility levels would give me in this early game of constantly running and running would be great. There's not much else that I could see a benefit from. I don't need mining anytime soon. Don't need smithing until I get mining. Fishing, not too worried about. Cooking, I have to get level 7 anyways, not a big deal. And crafting, I'll have that next chunk south I get, with all the flax I get. So yeah, I think I'm just going to put it right into agility, and I'm going to stick with my guns in this one. 10 agility. XP. And here we are. 42 woodcutting. 43. 44. And 45. We can now cut this beautiful maple log. Now that we officially have 45 woodcutting, we can go and get another chunk task done. And this will be the first of many maple logs done. We get to check off 2 chunk tasks, the 45 woodcutting and the maple log. These are the first maple short bows on the account. It's pretty big. I do wonder if it's going to be worth it for XP wise for me to continue with the maples, or if it's going to be better for me to do the oaks all the way to 90. I was thinking about it. When I do the totems with the maples opposed to the oak bows, I'll show you here in a second, they get different amount of charges. So for the maples I get 4 charges right there, and the oaks I get 2. And the laps that I do for, because I only have access to these 3, it takes, usually, like by the time I go from this one over here to this third one, by the time I finish this one's done. So now I'm going to have a lot of downtime in between. And I'm wondering if it's going to kind of affect my XP rates. I gotta do some math on it, but I do know these rewards are better, and this can make it a little bit more AFK. This XP I'm getting just for doing the maple totems is literally 400% better. I think I was getting about 250 experience, like a totem, like including, or not including cutting the bows, but just setting up the totem, carving it, and throwing on the unstrung bows. It's like 250 XP, whereas with the maples, I'm at just over 1,000. It took me like 11 totems or 10 totems to get from 50 to 51. When I was doing the oak ones, it was about 40 for the same amount. So this might just be a little bit better. Alright, so we got another 2,500 offerings here. So let's do some hasty rummaging and try to get lucky. So far, nothing. And nothing. Although this is going to be useful one day. Don't know which day, but it will be useful one day, I promise. Break in the action of running around Auburn. I think it's time to do a little bit of combat training. Get our chunk requirement of 30 attack done. And to do that, I'm gonna have to kill this rabbit many times. This also goes into our cooking chunk task of 7, so we can make that baked potato. And that'll be a food source. I don't want to say a good food source, but it's gonna be one of the few. I also have this bar over here, so if I need wines, that'll probably be my normal method since they're 1 GP and just a little bit easier to get. So now we just sit here and kill rabbit. This is gonna be one giant upgrade. Oh, if I actually click the right thing. Level 5 attack. I can now wield steel. This will be completely revolutionary for this account. It's kind of just the little things in life that give you the dopamine you need to keep the grind going. Sometimes it's money, sometimes it's just a little steel battle axe upgrade. Let's go fucking kill some rabbits. Now that we got that full inventory, I'm so glad there's actually a range to kind of just help with the burn rates. I want you all to take a guess of how many I'm gonna burn. I'm gonna guess at least half of these are gonna be burnt. First one already burnt. Alright. 2 cooking. Alright, alright. 5 more to go. Another burnt one. Okay. Burnt. Oh, we just did a 2 streak. Another burn. Oh, 2 streak of burns. Why not? 3? Okay, great, great. 4? Okay. I don't think I'm really good at cooking. Wow. I wish I was wrong when I predicted that. On the bright side, I have probably 500 more rabbits to kill. Alright, so I mean, that's not a bad little chunk of experience. So once we get to 7, we can do another chunk task. I don't know if it'll be worth it for me to pick up all the rabbits. I probably will. Just because I don't really have a great way of getting cooking experience. But we'll see. I don't know what the baked potato is, but I guess if I'm already killing the rabbits, I might as well just get some bank cooking experience for whatever grind comes next. So I do know over here to... yeah, right here, the salmon. It's a trout and salmon. I just don't have a rod. Don't know if there's actually anyone I can get. I haven't really looked into this area yet to see what shops there are, if there is any. But I just want to be ready so I don't have to go back and kill a bunch of rabbits. This took me a while to get on camera, but there's some weird interactions with these Ents, and sometimes they get out of sync where they just randomly appear on top of each other. And it is super weird and very random. Our final inventory of rabbits. Well, maybe. At least, hopefully, the last one so that we can get our chunk task done. Ladies and gentlemen, we can now make baked potatoes. With this rabbit kill, we are going to be 10 attack. A few more levels to go, and we can get ourselves a nice mithril battle axe. So sitting here slowly killing these rabbits, I was wondering what made this so nostalgic, and I remembered, I don't know if any of you guys did this, but back when I was like actually 2007, just being a kid, coming home from school, not knowing what weapons were best in slot or whatever, and I always thought the rune battle axe was just absolutely awesome. So I would always use that to kill hill giants and pick up the bones and sell them on GE. Brings back a lot of memories, and now using the battle axe to train on rabbits, I realize it was kind of nice having ignorance and just play for fun. Now we just play for the gains. We are coming in with that 10 cooking, rabbit only. I don't know what level we'll actually end up with, but I'm sure it's going to help once we get something to cook. Can't remember where, but I know somewhere in here there's another cooking requirement, so any bit of XP helps, I would say. Got level 8 prayer and a 200 total level. We are getting there slowly but surely, in one murderous rampage against the rabbits at a time. Alright, we got another 5,300 veil offerings to go. We are still at no uniques at 107 pulls, so Let's see if this is the one. I would actually really like that knife. All the other ones I can go kind of dry for and not care so much about. Otherwise, the bowstring spool would be my number 2. I'm not liking my odds. Yeah, it's looking not very good. But I do now have 154 research points. Still don't have enough to buy what I want, but we are just inching ever so closer. Might as well open up these here too. Try to get some nice seeds, acorns, can use that next chunk. Redwood. Pretty sure that's rare. I almost don't even want to know how rare that is, because now that's 2. It was in fact pretty rare. 1 in 505. The rarest seed you can get from Bird's Nest. Another level here, coming in with 20 cooking in just 3, 2, 1. Boom! 20 cooking. Meat pies and pie. And nettle tea apparently as well. So that's very useful. Maybe one day when we get all the way to Mauritania and can do animal magnetism. Yeah, I think we're a couple chunks away from that. Alright, I got about 5,200 more offerings to go. I wonder if we'll be lucky this time and get our first unique. So far, not so good. I do think all this bark is going to help with the forestry grind, though. Oh, and I need to make. Try that again. Absolutely nothing. But, a perfect 200. Still can't buy anything from the shop. I think the lowest one's 250 for the spool, but we're gonna go for 350 and get the knife if we don't get it by openings by then. Need some arrow tips. There we go, keep them going. Couldn't be set once we get a T-bow. I'm gonna have so many dragon arrows. So this is my current loot. All in this tab right here. Actually not getting a bad amount of arrow tips. Hopefully that'll help us clear a couple more XP when we get to that point. Alright, we got another 6,700 offerings today. Here goes for maybe some uniques. Pineapple seeds, alright. Getting a ton of acorns. U-seed. Magic roots. Magic seed, even. A lot of stuff we don't really need. A lot of seeds, not a lot of uniques. Oh, man, you just hate to see it. Oh my gosh. So, I have a lot of points now, and I'm still dry. Might as well open up these while I'm here. I did not know these auto-opened now. That is actually pretty cool. I know that's rare. That's cool. And might as well clean some arrow tips too. It's kind of satisfying just watching the whole stacks go up. Alright, and that brings our totals to almost 1,000 steel, 430 mithril, 330 addy, 150 rune, 73 dragon arrow tips. Progress is being made. Alright, we got another 6,700 offerings. If I do not get a unique this time, I have enough points to buy the knife inside the shop. Let's hope that's not the case, but honestly, at this point, I'm not holding my breath. We are getting a ton of seeds, though. Oh, we did it! Our first unique! Oh my gosh. That is what victory feels like. Awesome. Can't use it at all, so it's kind of useless for me right now, but we take it, and Oh crap. Okay. Other side here. Doo-doo-doo. That didn't happen. Can we get a second one? Oh my gosh, we did. No. Alright. Okay. I think I can use these on each other. I think that's how that works. Sweet, now we can hold 500 of bowstrings that I won't own for a very long time. Man, that's exciting though, finally. Alright, okay, so let's look at the collection log here. Minigames, failed totems. That doesn't tell me. What about over here? So 35,000 I have had now 2 bowstring spools. And it's like 1 in 100, I believe. So that's kind of bad. I'm glad our drop rate finally kind of evened out a little bit. Somehow I managed to lose the clip of me buying the knife, so I'll show you what it was kind of like. Okay, fletching knife. Let's pretend I have the points. Buy 1. Oh my gosh, this is crazy. I got the fletching knife. You know, something like that. With those 2 bowstring spools and the knife, that's a few more chunk tasks that we have gotten done. If you've made it all the way to the end of the video, thank you. If you enjoyed, please leave a like. And if you need me in the meantime, I'll be with me and my Ent pals until the next video.